Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And with that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank y'all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guests.
Hello, my name's Davey Banks.
Hey, I'm Cheyenne Vi.
I'm Shaden Nugent, and we are
Hvshi.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that, Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
I'm Shay. As far as music goes, I got started with music kind of later on. I was 18 before I truly started messing with music. I always wrote little things here and there, but before I truly jumped into it, and I just jumped in as a writer, trying to say parts of my story and figure it all out. And this is where I wanted to go with it, but I started more in the hip hop realm just because I was by myself, and that's what I had access to. It was just me in my room trying to figure out how to download beats and sing songs. And I'd never sang or anything, and I was pretty monotone and didn't really understand much of it. So it was just a lot of trial and error until we got here, and then luckily I found these guys, and they make me sound a lot better.
I love that. Well, yeah, why don't you guys introduce yourselves as well?
Hey, I'm Cheyenne. I'm 26. I live in Castle Rock, Washington. I started music as a kid. All of the women in my family are musicians,
okay.
a long way back.
Well, that's cool.
We all started kind of through church community. So that's kind of how I learned how to sing and got behind the kit for the first time. And I kind of branched off on that from there and started recording in late middle school, early high school. Was in a couple bands here and there. I was kind of doing my thing now, and found these guys about a year ago to get back into it, and it's been fun.
Cool. And are you the drummer in the band?
Yeah.
Nice. That's rad. Right. And then what about you?
I'm Davey. I'm 27 years of age, almost out of the club on the 30th. I've been playing music a long time, since I was in kindergarten and stuff. My dad, he was always in bands, like kind of old blues funk bands and stuff. And kind of just through him. And then my brother was always in punk groups and stuff. So I kind of got this funk punk fusion jambalaya thing kind of going. And I kind of always was playing, and then me and Shay hooked up and stuff maybe 4 or 5 years ago or something like that.
We started messing around. We went to school together. We just
cool.
It just never.
Yeah, our ex-girlfriends kept us away from each other.
Our ex-girlfriends were best friends, and they didn't want us to be friends, so we never got to meet each other.
Hey, looks like
After high school, we found each other.
It was gonna happen no matter what.
It was destined to be.
And then how did all of you end up meeting?
Cheyenne and I kind of always knew, just playing around the scene and stuff. I used to play at the Electric Bean, which was the only venue that underage kids could play at in our town. And I think, your mom ran it and stuff like that. And,
She kind of did the booking and stuff there for the live shows. And like he was saying, that was the only venue kind of in town for us little Cowlitz County people. And I did go to school with them too. They just
Oh, gotcha.
Well, and I skipped a grade, and I was doing weird college stuff, and so I wasn't at the actual high school very often. So
I didn't go to school.
I was hardly around. Dave didn't go to school. We met each other at, when we were supposed to be at school and going to parties, but Yeah, and then we kind of got together. I got signed early on when I was 20, like just to turn 21.
Oh, dang.
To Mark Battles and like Fly America, Hvshi Gang, and I started touring just out of nowhere. I had like 2 songs, like technically out, and it just kind of happened oddly, I guess. And then I went on my first tour and did that, and then ended up moving to Arizona after my father passed. And then I was there, and I'd just been trying to get to this alternative music. Like I started in the hip hop realm, but it was just kind of like accessible and, you know, like what was going on, I guess. And I mean, I love hip hop, so it wasn't like I was just doing it. But, you know, this is what I grew up on and where my heart was always set. And, you know, Dave was literally the coolest cat in school that actually could play guitar and do anything like that. And so I was like, if I could have anybody play guitar with me, it's this guy. And we ended up getting a hold of each other, and we threw it down at like no practice. I literally sent him the songs that we were going to do. And like we just walked out on stage, got no practice, did a huge killer show, did some stage diving, and that's how I guess technically we started playing together.
Yeah,
That.
It was pretty wild.
You said you came in about a year ago?
Yeah, my mom, same person, venue stuff. She kind of knows a lot of musicians and stuff too, and their kids naturally, like your dad, and knows my mom, things like that. And yeah, I don't remember, probably through Minuteman.
Yeah. So my grandfather runs a print business, and I work there with him, and I do deliveries, and one of our deliveries is her mom's church.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so slowly but surely, like, you know, we just kept getting brought up, and we were like,
she pitched me to you.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, that's cool. And then, you know, we were still trying to just get our footing and figure out where we were going with it. You know, because we did an entire tour where it was just me and Dave playing as the band. You know, like
that was the first time we played Los Angeles.
it was crazy.
I mean, it's definitely doable.
Yeah, you know.
Experience is much bigger now.
Yeah, so we were just kind of winging it. We knew where we wanted to be and where our hearts were at. We were just like, we're just gonna push it until we figure it out, and then
kind of just like sort of just running from the beginning, like you know, like
Then you got the studio, the jam, that makes all the difference.
Oh yeah, and then we ended up getting a studio of our own in Kelso that we're running like and recording other people and stuff, but it's mainly our home base and whatnot. And then we were like, hey, we actually have room where we can play with a drummer. Let's get Cheyenne over here and start doing this, because we had another drummer from Arizona to shout out Snooty Productions. He does a lot of production on our project and all this stuff, and he played drums with us on another tour and 2 of those tours earlier this year. In the beginning of the year, off the Beautiful Broken album, and did work. So like we had those attributes, you know, to add to the live show when we were like doing a tour, but we're like, we want, you know, someone to be a part of this and share this, you know, creative space with us.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, write and stuff.
Kind of locally, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that and live drums are always just so good. So good. Like, if you
way to go.
Makes everything.
Yeah, it makes the whole experience so much better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, before we get into more of what y'all do in the present day, I do have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on.
Yeah.
This first one, it's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you each bought with your own money?
Okay.
Mine was Paramore's first album, easily.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Easily.
Hell yeah.
I think, what is it? All We Know Is Falling or something?
I'm the worst with the names, but I remember it being
may
a
not
good
even be
album.
that.
Yeah.
It may be something else, but that was the one. Yeah.
I dig that.
The first album, I don't know if I just got it for my birthday or I bought it with my birthday money, but like it was like 3rd or 4th grade. I think I was like 8 or 9, and you know, I got one of those CD players that you could put in your pocket, you know, like before there was an MP3 and all that. I had one of those.
I remember.
I got one of those, and I got the the American Idiot album.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And I couldn't take that thing out of my head forever, man. That was it.
No, I dig that. That's definitely a solid choice.
I think my first album, like, because I definitely got some for like my birthday, but the one I remember buying first was, I don't know if you guys remember Sam Goodies, and it was in the mall.
Yeah.
And they sold everything there. It was like guitars and like albums and DVDs and stuff. But I bought Get Born, the album. Yeah,
That's so hard.
yeah, it was sick. I was like in like the first grade or something, and I played "Are You Gonna Be My Girl" for my first talent show.
That's hard.
Oh yeah, I dig that.
I guess not counting birthdays, because birthday-wise, American Idiot would be my first album by Green Day. But the first one I can remember, like I saved up money and I went to Just Music and More, where it was where that liquor store is now. I went there and I bought a Zion I and the Grouch.
Whoa, hell yeah.
R.I.P. to Zion I, man, for real. Yeah, that's actually great. That's the first album I guess I actually bought with my own money.
I mean, y'all have quality choices. I really dig that.
But that explains my musical genres, like the hip hop versus like you know, like pop punk is like literally like those were my first two albums. Like that's like heavy hip hop, heavy pop punk. Like,
Those are all very true to our like personalities.
Very much so. Very much so. And then what was one of the first live shows you each went to that was like specifically one you wanted to go to? So like you saw it was happening, got the tickets and went to it.
the first concert I ever went to, I was 13 years old and I went to Mac Miller.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, when he was like fresh out of high school. Yeah, that was amazing. And then after that, I didn't go to a concert till I was like 18 or something. I went to Joey Badass though.
Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Definitely made up for it.
Yeah, and that was like his like first year tour, and he was young. It was crazy.
Man, that's wild.
I think my first like big live show would be, I want to say it was Def Leppard and Heart.
Whoa.
That or Van Halen when they came back around.
I mean, those are three really good answers.
Yeah, I went with my mom. She's a major Van Halen fan.
Hell yeah.
The one that I probably sought out later on from like my like personal taste would be From Indian Lakes, and it was in Portland at Analog for $8, and they were my favorite band at the time. So I was like the most excited person there.
Oh yeah, that's rad. I love that.
Really cool.
Yeah. All right. And what about you?
My first concert was Green Day, American Idiot. It was that tour. Yeah, it was cool. It was general admission too, which was crazy. Like,
Check this out, dude.
yeah, I know, dude. It was awesome. It was so good. No, it was cool, and yeah, it was general admission. So like, one of us would wait in line the whole time and stuff. And I don't think you could even do that now with like a huge stadium show. It almost seems kind of dangerous. Yeah. I mean, I'm about it, you know, like I'm not knocking it, but yeah, it was cool. It was a really good show.
Oh yeah, I dig that. Those are all quality shows. I did recently ask this to another group, and I'm bringing it to y'all. This is the second time I get to ask this question. What was the first show you all went together as a band?
Technically,
I think we've yet.
I guess all three of us haven't gone together, but I can't actually flip Dave off for going to the American Idiot thing, because due to Dave's brother, like a month and a half ago, I literally just he took me to go see the American Idiot, the Generation Tour. So they did everything from Dookie all the way through American Idiot, which is my two favorite albums almost of all time. Like so that was that was insane.
It was by random too. My brother had sent me like he tried calling me twice when I was at work, and my phone doesn't work. I work in a weed factory, and it's like I'm basically in a bunker, and so no service. And I messaged him because it's kind of odd for him to just call me. I'm like, hey, is everything all good? And nothing back. I get home, and I'm like, I better call him. And call him. He's like, oh yeah, I'm already on my way, but I got like 2 tickets to Green Day, and you know, if you want them. And I'm like, dude, why wouldn't you just message me that? Like,
why would you text?
I would have left work, and Shay had left on his run. And
I'm out here jogging
left
in the
his
rain,
phone. Left his phone, so I'm like in jeans and everything. I'm like, I gotta go get him, and so I sprint and like find him halfway up by the cemetery in the rain, and I'm like, dude, we gotta go. Like,
thinking about it now,
canceling practice
it
today.
literally probably looked like a scene out of The Notebook, because there's pouring down rain, we're running at each other, and he's like waving, he's like, we gotta go. But like if you put it in slow mo, it probably looked like a love story.
Looked beautiful.
Oh yeah, like meeting at the cemetery and pouring down the rain. It was great.
Hell yeah. Well,
And then we went to Green Day.
hey, I mean, it all
Romantic.
sounds like it worked out. Well, y'all have to check back in when you finally go to one with the 3, so I can find out what it was.
We'll figure something sick out.
Yeah. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and let's get on into more of y'all in the present day.
Okay.
We are going to get a super easy one out of the way first. How'd you pick the name?
I guess that's my fault. Well, technically, Hvshi was me when I got signed to Mark Battles and started going on those hip hop tours. I was just going by my normal name, Shaden, because I mean, I don't know.
It's a cool name.
Named Shaden, so I was like, whatever. And then we wanted to pick a name, going into being signed and stuff, and kind of like create, the alter ego side of it. And I couldn't figure anything out to pick. And I have Choctaw roots, Native American. My grandma always called me Sunshine, and Hvshi means sunshine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And outside of that, like always, we want to light the world up. We want to be the biggest star.
Gotcha. Okay, I dig that.
The name came from there.
Yeah. What was the decision to put a V instead of a U?
It's actually spelled like that in the native language.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just a clever change.
Yeah, it's not a clever twist. It's actually spelled as Hvshi.
That explains the pronunciation. That is really cool to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Now,
I'm gonna make a T-shirt that just says how it's pronounced.
yeah, or at least like in parentheses, or like on the back in parentheses. I dig that. All right, now let's go ahead and let's dive into more of the way you guys write music. We're going to talk about your writing process a little bit, and we're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning. So when you get inspired, you're ready to make music. How do y'all go about putting a track together?
It kind of it'll happen kind of separately and together at the same time. I'd say like Shay writes a lot of lyrics too, like on his own and whatnot, and then like I don't know, we'll just kind of sit down and like kind of like I think the key is like if you spend 6 hours on something, you'll get something good. Like no matter what, like if you spend the 6 hours, like even if you get frustrated and you just keep
Just right.
going, like that's I don't know. We just kind of mess around on the piano, guitar.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, like Dave will like jam something, and be like, "So I like this guitar riff," and like play something, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, I could write this to that," and that flows or. Like a lot of times I'll be like, "Hey, dude, I've been singing this thing I wrote all day today. What?" And he'll play guitar to it or whatever. And I mean, sometimes either of those change. Sometimes I'll write it and have it like, our song "Beautiful Broken." We rewrote like 3 different times, and it was like, like the flow and like the cadence, like none of it's even the same. To where it was just like it just morphed into like I'd been singing it over and over, and then every day we would just sit down and he'd play guitar, and then it finally turned into it was like, we'll do that one. Yeah. And then, she plays drums, and you can't, like, especially, you can't have a pocket without drums. So, like, I need drums to do, like, a lot of the verses. I like to write a hook and get kind of, like, be like, this is where we're going, structure out, and then, like, go back and do the detail.
Get your tempo and, like, rhythm.
Yeah, figure it out.
Kind of go in with sort of an idea. Like, a lot of times, like, it's like I kind of want to do, like a pop punk, but like Chuck Berry surfer kind of thing. And like, like I feel like there is like so many songs, but there's also kind of like subcategories where it's like, okay, like these aren't the same song, but like Sympathy for the Devil and Bohemian Rhapsody in the terms of like how they're kind of structured and they're kind of these epic tunes. Like, I feel like there's kind of like, I don't know, that's how music works in my head almost. Like,
that makes sense. And I mean, has the last year with having live drums like really added to the writing process in a way?
Well, we haven't technically got to write too much together because we've had this project that we've been putting out. And she was there with us for like a lot of that process, but a lot of that stuff had already been written. And then we had like producers in LA and Arizona working on it with live kits and everything as well. So it was there was already like a lot in the wheelhouse. So we actually kind of just got to jump into it.
Oh, gotcha.
As of recent, like for writing stuff and putting a lot down. And I mean, she was on our cover that we got coming out for Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still releasing projects that were pre-me.
Gotcha. So just clearing out the vault a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of putting stuff out there and stuff. So pretty soon we'll have like some new content that I'll get the chance to kind of.
Damn, I'm gonna have to bring y'all back for sure. I got some follow-up questions already.
Sound is ever changing too. I'm liking the way that it's going and sounding. So.
Hell yeah. I dig that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then I guess usually I ask like kind of how long does it take y'all to feel comfortable to like perform a track, but it sounds like, you guys are kind of still working out some of that bits, but have y'all played together live a lot as the
Oh, yeah. Like,
okay.
We've definitely done that.
Then how long does it usually take y'all to get tight with any like one song?
I think the first show we did, we were doing literally like
Whole album.
like doing like it was like performing the entire album, and like. I don't think it was the first, but like one of the very first shows that we did was literally like the 4th of July festival at the lake. That's like the biggest festival in our city. And we had like 2 practices.
Okay.
It was like, all right, we got like 2 45-minute practices. Did you feel all right?
Yeah, we kind of do that.
A little baptism of fire, you know?
Y'all are
Jump in.
fairly put together in your playing experiences, though. You know what I mean? It's not like y'all are just like casual musicians on the side.
Right, yeah,
So I feel like, you know, at a certain point, y'all are just good. You know, that goes a long way.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
We'd like to think so.
I think it might be the way that we run, like some of our tech, maybe with like our music, doing the in-ears and like some backtracking and things like that. So it's easier for us to like practice individually.
I guess that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Together, like as a full production. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it still says something though to be able to like show up with little time in the room together and still be able to put together what I assume was a very rad show.
Well, I think a lot of it is like, I mean, like we trust each other, you know, like I know this guy, like no matter what. I mean, he played the last show with a broken hand, like, you know, like,
dang.
and he just,
Yeah,
he's
it
like,
sucked.
I'm going to play the show. It's all right. I'm like,
Yeah.
Broke it the day
everyone's
before.
like, should he play? Should he play? I'm like, Dave said he's going to play the show. I'm not tripping. Like, I trust him.
I
Like,
felt like a warrior of music or something. I was like, I'm still doing the show. Like I'm going out on my shield kind of thing, you know.
I mean, even her, you know, we knew her musical upbringing. We've seen her, you know, even outside of the band, and then seeing her in the band, it's like, I trust her playing, and like I know how she's gonna do, you know, and I wrote, you know, the lyrics, so hopefully I can
Fair enough.
sing them. I
I
hope.
was gonna say for her, she's like multi-generational musician, so
She's got a built
I was
in.
gonna say born to do it for sure.
well, him too, man.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that really like no one in my family like plays instruments or anything really like that. I was like, my dad was just obsessed with music and like made me listen to album after album and was like, would pause it and be like, you hear what he said there? You hear the metaphor? You hear the story? And just made me analyze music.
Did you hear what Jim Morrison just said?
No, literally, dude, that was my whole life growing up. It was just pausing the doors and be like, do you get it? I'm like, I hope so, man. Like,
So.
I think that goes a long way in certain. I mean, I'm sure there's a point where it's a little too much.
no, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And that's what made me how I am, because I'm just obsessive with the lyrics and like trying to get, you know, our story out there and share with people like us.
Weirdly, I'm the same way, but with like the listening part of music. My uncle growing up, who he is now passed as well. I would spend time with him. I'd go out and spend the day with my aunt. That was the thing. I'd spend the day with my aunt, and then the evening with my uncle. He would be like, "Sit down, shut up, listen to this, and he would show me some crazy like stuff that you would just never expect." And then he'd like throw in some hits, like he'd go from like Cream to like Afro-Cuban symphony music.
Come on now.
And he would just be like, do you hear how this instrument is doing this? Now wait for it. Now this one's going to do this. And you hear how when they both do it. So like, I don't pay attention to words real good just as a person. But when it comes to instruments,
Heck yeah.
I hear like polyphonically. So,
That's amazing.
Hey, man.
yeah, there's something really special about having somebody who can like explain more of how to hear music.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. They like break it apart and then show you how to hear it all at once.
I just finally got to that point literally last year when we were doing the album. Me and Dave were like self-producing and doing 90% of the work by ourselves. So I'm, you know, just I've never played a keyboard, but we're playing keys on the album.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like we're producing and we're putting all these things on and, you know, like adding and doing everything ourselves and recording it ourselves. And I've always recorded lyrically ourselves, but doing it like that was the first time going through. Like now when I hear a song, I can like isolate, be like, oh, I hear the bass doing this now. Like before I was just like, that sounds really cool, and listen to the words. Like, you know, that was how my brain deciphered it. Now I just got there to where
No, there's something really cool about once you put a whole like group of tracks together and you like see the pieces as the pieces. All right, now as far as going back to kind of the live playing for a minute, do y'all have any like pre-show rituals you do as a band?
Some pre-show rituals we can't do anymore.
I was gonna say, it depends.
I mean, yeah, as a group, I mean, we always get a bite to eat. That's always important. You know, usually if a Popeyes is around the corner, that's our first target.
Yeah.
I think having a couple drinks beforehand helped me out last time.
Okay.
If it would, because usually I just wait till after, so I can do my thing, focus on what I'm doing. But I didn't, and I played awesome.
You did. You
fun.
really
It was
kicked
like
ass.
one of the funnest shows that we've done so far.
Yeah, no, we had loads of fun.
Ritual.
Yeah,
Have a few drinks or whatever.
a couple brewskis.
Me and Dave have been trying to slow down as we don't have our car doesn't have a brake pedal as far as drinking goes.
Oh God.
And we just
Once you open the
get
keg,
going
the keg is gonna
fast.
stay
man.
open.
You
Yeah.
get going.
I'm 1 day into my my sobriety again. Yeah, 1 day. And
Congratulations.
hey, thanks. No, it was, I didn't. It wasn't even really that bad of a night. Honestly, I didn't spend a bunch of money or nothing, or hurt myself, or whatever. But
It's a life choice.
yeah, I just,
It's still working. So.
yeah, my hand's not broken. But like, I just like I don't know. I woke up and I felt all shitty, and I had work at like 7 in the morning. Still made it to work. Still did the whole day.
Handle business.
Yeah, handled business, but I was just like, fuck. Like, I'm
What are we doing?
I'm drinking on weekdays now, and even like, I think it was that day, I was just like, yeah, I'm okay with I don't think I'm doing too much, but I was like, I know where it's going to go. That it's just going to be an everyday thing, and I just need to kind of like.
Me and Dave are getting older, and we've had our party days and addiction days where like we, there was weeks where we'd black out and lose ourselves in it, and we did 6 months of sobriety and got out of that, and we've been flirting and having fun, but
Yeah. Well, and I'm so close to being out of the 27 club. I gotta be 28.
It's a balancing act, especially in the world of music. So
there's a lot going on.
I'm sure you're doing good.
That might be the difference between doing tours and live shows and like writing and stuff though too. It's easy to have a lot of fun. You're out there like playing, but then the mode's different. Like when you're at home and it's time to like start writing stuff.
And I get
We write
home
an
and
album, we get sober.
Yeah.
Like every time me and Dave have wrote an album, we've gotten sober so far. Like literally just like, we're just gonna focus and go so hard on this. And then you get out doing the shows and you're like, but I want to party with everybody else, man.
The work is done.
Hey, I'm just trying to have some fun, man. Yeah, I know how to play these songs.
I wrote that shit.
Actually, that segues well. Let's go ahead and let's talk about some of your guys' music.
Okay.
So, I jumped on Yield Spotify and I checked it all out. And you guys have a wild amount of music. I guess, a fair amount of it started with just you. But like, it's going all the way back to 2018. There's a billion singles, a handful of EPs, a couple of albums. And like since the beginning, there's clearly been like a direction.
Yeah.
But the growth is real. It definitely it's really progressed a lot. It's evolved in a lot of ways. And it's the difference between like the difference between like 1988 and your most recent album.
You went back on them. Hell yeah.
I tried. I listened to as much of it as I could. Now
that's amazing.
You have a lot of music, so I didn't get to.
Oh yeah,
all
no,
of
there's
it,
a lot.
but I did do my very best, and
that's
it's
awesome.
cool because, like I said, I feel like while the sound has progressed, there's definitely like a heart. There's a point of creation, and you all have stayed very true to that in a really cool way. And I mean, you also have a ton of features.
Yeah,
a ton of features. And I mean, I recognize a small handful, so I'm going to say the ones that I thought that were really cool that I saw was first of all, Soul Luna, shout out, local cat.
Yep, Soul Luna, hell yeah.
You had Dizzy Wright.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, he was touring with Mark Battles and then.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then your second to last album had Lasco on it.
Lasco?
Yeah.
You know Lasco?
Yeah.
Chase? Mm-hmm. You know Chase?
I mean, I don't know them personally.
Oh
but
my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I saw the name. I was like,
dude, Lasco,
Wow.
that's one of my best friends from Arizona.
oh, cool.
We were in a band called Gaslight together with like a little collab project. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Shout out Chase Warren. He did like half of my music videos and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I thought.
Funny because I'm just so used to saying Chase. I was like, who's that? Oh yeah. I was like, yeah.
We only call him that as like on the song.
That's so funny.
I know the music, not the person. Still a really cool collaborative experience.
Oh yeah.
Got to have Rio on stage with us in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And like perform it live.
Yeah, Rio Wiley.
The feature was like really cool.
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah. And now a lot of great friends in Arizona.
Oh, very much. Arizona is a weirdly cool place for music. Like, I think it's one of those things where like people are gonna figure it out soon. Kind of like Eugene. People don't realize Eugene actually has a pretty solid music scene. scene at the moment.
Shout out Cosplay Jesus.
Yeah, shout out.
Arizona felt weirdly familiar in that way. Like you go over there and the music scene and like the pop culture for like the Pacific Northwest is so similar. It's really weird.
A lot of people have kind of moved into that space
Yeah.
from like places like this, it's starting to permeate more.
For sure.
But getting back to y'all's music, I did go and check out your most recent album, Prescriptions, Pain, and Lust, which came out in late September of this year.
Yes.
And by far, some of my favorite stuff.
Oh, dude, thank you.
I mean, it's bigger, it's heavier, it's still super catchy. The guitar is really full, the vocals are really dynamic, and the progressions are tight. It's really, it's got this really put together energy.
Appreciate that.
And like it's cool because it brings me back to sounds that I grew up with, but it didn't feel like you were trying to make the past, you know what I mean?
Like an 09 record.
It's not like you were like, this is a throwback. No, it felt very today. It felt very modern, but there was an energy in it. Like the feeling that music I grew up on gave me, that album gave me as well. So it was really cool experience. And it's really good. It's a really good album.
So much. That's awesome. That's great to hear. I mean, I feel like that's what we wrote it with. There's a lot of ambition and just, like that teenage angst. And, once again, shout out Snooty Productions. Mike Snooty out there did so much work on that. We wrote it with him in our living room.
Yeah, in like 6 days or something crazy.
Like literally 6 days we wrote that in the living room with him and Chris Crimmins, our guitar player behind the scenes and in front of. But Chris lives in Arizona.
Oh, God.
And he jammed a ton of guitar on that. Dave did the guitar solos on that.
Oh, cool.
And then actually Let You Go was produced and we wrote that with Lasco in our
cool.
studio. Yeah. Chase. Yep.
Damn, that's really cool. Thank you. But now I'm curious to know, what are some of y'all's favorite songs of yours to perform?
I'll let you go.
I really like B-sides, really fun. I kind of like, it's not really on the record, but because I kind of found out how to do it later, of course, but it kind of reminds me of like, even though it's really fast and, pop punky kind of thing, I kind of do this like Motown kind of blues, like walk up kind of thing. And I don't know, it gets really jammy. Like it kind of reminds me of a Stone song or something.
Are you talking about on B-side?
Yeah, B-side. Yeah, I like B-side. And I don't know, as second one, I mean, all right, I just cannot take it.
Oh, Hey My Guts?
No, I don't even remember. I have to play. No, not Let You Go. Keep on waiting. Yeah, keep on.
That's on the other album though.
Yeah. Oh, from this album?
Yeah.
No, I thought in general.
I'm talking. Okay.
I'm talking in general.
We're still talking album.
Yeah. I like Keep On Waiting, B-side. Those are my two favorite.
Oh, hell yeah.
I like probably the newest songs the most. Like Let You Go is super fun to play, especially for a drummer because there's so much opportunity.
Yeah, very much.
She got that double kick pedal last show.
Yeah, I'm new to that. I'm left-handed, so it's kind of weird.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And what was the other one? Oh, Dead Horses, I'd say pushes me the most. It's like the most
There's a lot of drums going on in that song.
Yeah, very much.
A lot of drums in there.
pushes me to evolve.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I'd say about the same. Let You Go is definitely, I guess, my favorite right now. I scream at the end. I've never done that before, so that was like a new, I don't know, like a new level unlocked for me. I was like, oh, okay.
I was there when it happened. You got the achievement and everything.
Yeah, I looked at Dave. I was like, whoa.
An icon popped up above his head. It's just a guy screaming into a microphone.
it's the sound, like our new sound there too.
Yeah.
Add the screaming. It like gives another element.
Yeah, because it's been so fun. We've been like getting heavier, and Dave's so funky. So it's like adding all these different formulas.
There's when you can bring heavier elements to a more like rhythmic and like funk based sound, it really does cool stuff.
I mean, that's kind of what sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What you're gonna say is probably cooler than what I would have expected. But like really, just I think it gives this like because like heavy music usually doesn't make your body move in quite the like dancey ways. But it still makes your body want to move.
Right.
So when you can introduce something that just gives it that little bit of something, just makes your toes tap a little bit.
Right.
There's this whole other layer, and it's really cool.
100%.
Yeah.
I like math metal. I don't know if that's just the drummer in me, but that kind of
There's
stuff.
like 1, 2, 6.
So much, so many things, so many layers, so much opportunity to like, you know, do things. And plus I love funk drums too. Like if I can incorporate that with metal somehow,
Oh, yeah.
like I'll try to.
There's a lot of intersection there as well. That's like a whole layer of conversation in and of itself. I don't want to get too in the weeds with that part of it.
We could jump down an alley.
Oh, for sure. That'll be on the Patreon when I make it. But now I want to take a moment. I want to kind of zoom out. I want to look at more of music as a whole. What are some of the things, like as far as like new music goes, or at the very least music that's new to you that you all have found recently that you enjoy or you're finding inspiration in at the moment?
For me, I'm really into new metal right now, like bands like Jutes, Jutes music, or Drink Holy Water. It's like very like emo alternative, but that's the season right now.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, new metal, man, I'm liking it. Resurrecting some like Deftones and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm into at the moment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, I've been jamming a lot of Jack Johnson lately, but I listen to a lot of stuff that's like not necessarily how I sing at all, but I really like that. But I mean, and just going through like a lot of like the old hip hop I used to listen to, like Polo G and Wiz Khalifa and stuff. But on like a newer level, I've been, as we've gotten heavier and all that, you know, been going back and experimenting more and listening to like Mayday Parade or like Falling in Reverse or, you know, some more of that like metalcore that's still very harmonic and, you know, fun listening and like, you know, stuff like that we grew up on, and trying to just like recycle my brain and like, I don't know, I like listening to like tons of different genres and trying to.
Yeah. This is a weird take, but have you gone back and listened to any like old story of the year?
No. I don't know if actually no. Crimmins told me to listen to Story of the Year, but I have not yet.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say they're the heaviest by any stretch of the imagination, but like they had a really cool like melodic structure to their songs. Like really, it did something to kind of like tease the listening experience in a cool way. So definitely worth checking out. I think you would have fun time with that.
I'll peep that.
Yeah. And what about you?
I'm a lot of times I'm listening to like older tunes and whatnot, but weird enough, I've been getting really into, like, I've always loved harmonies. I think harmonies make a band a lot of times, and I've been getting really into like Beach Boys and stuff, like just listening to all the crazy stuff that dude, like, I don't know, like Beach Boys and
what's that country singer you said made you cry?
Not
to put you on blast like that, but like
that's what I was trying to get to. I've been listening to some old country. It was Buck Rogers, the Buckaroos. It made me cry at work. I was listening to this dude. It was My Heart Skips a Beat or something, and I was thinking about my German Shepherd and stuff, and like I'm pretty sure I don't know who he wrote that song about. Probably not his dog, but
German Shepherd.
Probably not my dog Rhaegar, but you know, no, it was sweet though, and yeah, just like I've been kind of listening to those like, because I like, you know, darker lyrics and stuff. Like Jim Morrison's like probably my spirit animal or something, but I've been really kind of enjoying like the sort of like innocent, corny lyrics of the 50s and stuff. Like they're kind of like comforting and nice, you know. I don't know, like, and I don't know, yeah, I guess. That.
No, I dig that.
Dave's the light of the band.
Vibe.
There's got to be a lot of layers to all of it for sure. All right, now before we move into the next bit, this next question is probably the densest question in the interview. But you know, we've talked about your experience with music, the actions, the reactions, but on an individual level, when it's just you and music, one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Everything.
Nice.
Shoot, I mean, music is, I guess, especially from my perspective, is just, you know, songwriter, like lyrical and singing. You know, I've never been very musically talented or even until now, I can respect myself as a singer, but I never really saw that or heard that in myself before. Music to me was just so magical, and the way that it made me feel, and the way that Kid Cudi said things like, I'm just there to show the kids they aren't the only ones who up at night, like the things that like the lyrics like that did for my soul as a kid, like growing up, like all I ever wanted to do was be able to touch someone's heart like that. So I mean, like listening to music and singing music regardless, I guess is just one of the most healing things ever.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'd say for me is like euphoria. I don't know. That's kind of corny to say, but
for sure.
just like listening to music or like playing live shows and stuff just like makes you feel stuff, like I don't know if, like I said, it's the rhythm in me, but when I listen to something and like break it down or like really understand like how complex it is or how profound or how much work and all that, that's like cool to me, and then I have those same feelings on stage. That's why I do it, it's just because it's fun and it feels good and it's fun to do.
It's exciting.
So, yeah.
No, I dig
Just
that.
good feelings,
Yeah.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, truly. Yeah, I'd say it's definitely, like a euphoric thing. And I was like thinking about this. I kind of tell it as a joke, but I was like, like being a musician is like kind of being like the last true magician, like think about it, like, and I'm not even saying that like I'm doing it for money or anything, but I'm literally selling vibrations in the air.
Yeah.
You will pay me to come to your place, and I'll sell this invisible thing you can't see, but you can feel it, and sometimes it can make people dance. It can make people fight each other. There's so many different things, So I was like, it's kind of like, it feels like being a magician, kind of,
That might be one of the coolest explanations of music I've ever heard.
I take mine back. That one.
Same.
True though, because it doesn't have to be euphoric.
Yeah.
It can invoke so much.
It's like when you're drinking garage beers and listening to Creed too loud.
Oh, dude, let's go.
This thing is Creed too loud.
yeah, I've heard.
I think
6 feet.
the well-roundedness of all of your answers is really cool because, yes, at a certain level, there's the connection, the point that music makes from person to listening experience. And then there are the feelings that are attached to it. There's the things that kind of make the experience wild in the moment, those like in between spaces, and then the magic, the thing that keeps it all together. Like that is pretty much the full answer. So that was really cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on to some hypothetical questions.
All right.
And for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. But the first one is pretty straightforward. If the band could share a bill with any one current act, so they have to be actually out there and doing it at the moment, who would you each want it to be?
Youngblood.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, Youngblood's a man.
That would be a cool show.
I love Youngblood so much, and he's like right in like the the pop punk genre of us, but there's production, and it's just music.
Yeah.
It's just really sick music.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'd want it to be, but I think the craziest and like most comparable would be like MGK or something. Like if we opened for MGK, I just think that'd be the most like comparable show.
I mean, you could have them open for you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Like ideally on a bill, I guess. Like that would be like. I mean, it's the number one album in our genre.
Yeah, statistically that makes sense.
From that point,
business wise,
sure.
Yeah. So MGK, Hvshi, Youngblood, because I mean they're friends anyway. So we throw that Mod Sun right there.
Son, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Who's headlining it? Orville Peck, baby.
Orville.
yeah. I think that'd be sweet. I'd just love to even just work with him on anything. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Orville Peck.
Just shake his hand, whatever. I'll take it.
It's starting to line up a really good show here.
This is a festival, man.
Comments. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Subsequently, who's a local act that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to perform with yet, but you each would like to? And I guess we can expand it a little bit, like the Pacific Northwest.
I was gonna say that's hard because like I think local and like I'm here, but like I just moved back from Arizona and I have so many local friends in Arizona. I'm like, well, I'll stay on this side though. Damn, let me think.
I know.
I literally just saw a band the other day and I was like, these guys would be so dope. Oh my gosh, I can't think of their names. Outside of that, well, I mean, in Arizona, I'd love to do a show with Sorry X or Diva Bleach. Diva Bleach is literally my favorite pop punk band in Arizona right now. They're coming up. They're friends of ours in Rio's.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they're really killing it and coming up, and I've always loved their music. They would be, I guess, like locally in Arizona, Diva Bleach would be the all-time pick for sure.
Oh yeah, I dig that.
Damn, I suck. On this side, I literally
No, I'm thinking the same thing because a lot of the shows that we do locally, we end up getting put with people passing through or people who aren't, like residential, right? So I don't know a lot of who's playing locally right now, but I'd say my favorite, I'll just say like the show that we did with local bands, my favorite and that I watched the whole time and I was just so impressed with them and I'd love to play with them again was Eden.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Just,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the professionalism.
Totally forgot about
the
that.
tightness, the talent is just.
Yeah, that was
So shout out
immaculate.
Eden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad too because I literally was just talking to a band in Seattle because we're setting up our next tour. And they're a killer band and I really wanted to play with them too, but I can't think of their name.
Oh damn! Now I want to know who it is. I'm gonna go up there next.
Like
Like,
different genres too, but they're just so cool people and
Yeah.
so talented.
I
And
always have wanted to play with Billy and the Kids from Washington, but they just moved to LA.
Oh damn it!
Literally like a month ago.
Oh man, I was just up there. Like, I would have just missed them. Damn. Hell yeah.
I don't know if this counts. I played at one of them, but it was when I was doing like as a solo act. But as a band, I think it would be sweet. Johnny Franco and his brother Dominic and a whole bunch of other people, they host this like, it's kind of like an outdoor festival thing every Thursday at Laurelhurst Park. But it's really cool. It's just all these vendors come out and stuff, and they just have a bunch of variety acts playing, and it'd be cool to do one of those again for sure.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I dig
Next
that.
summer, let's hit up Johnny and
Yeah.
Johnny and the fellas.
Johnny and the boys.
festival season.
In the comments, let's make it.
Adam, put them in there.
Yeah. All right. Now for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and this is a fun one. We're gonna have fun with this. This is one I only ever ask bands, and it's always a cool turnout. If the band's music could be the soundtrack to any movie, what would you pick?
Wait, well,
Jaws would be funny.
I think that not necessarily for this band, but so you know the new Fallout show. Have you seen it on Amazon? It's amazing. I'm obsessed with it. But if you listen to Davey Banks' solo album, this guy should write the entire soundtrack for the Fallout games and the Fallout movies. Put them on there, Bethesda. Get my man.
I released I released that Fallout song before the Fallout TV show.
This
by
is
the
a
way.
fact,
I'm
too,
a
yeah.
Fallout 3 fan.
Yeah.
All the way OG.
Yeah.
Close.
These two in Fallout.
Dude, I'm serious. We love it. But outside of that, though, I mean, what would our music go really sick with?
Oh, I got one.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Yu-Gi-Oh movie. For sure.
Dude, I forgot. Yeah.
100%.
Or something.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Fallout and Yu-Gi-Oh. That's our shit.
Kaiba just hopping into his jet.
Yep.
B-side right there.
Dude, that's
We're like a
hard.
video game band.
That's all right. That's all right. Especially with the way things are moving now. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. What you got? You got one?
Not really. Not something existing. Like if we were gonna have music on something, I'd picture it like
Yeah.
something young, like teenagers that do like criminal activities or something. You know?
So if
You
they,
go playing in the background during like a store robbery or something.
so if they made a Dirt, but like the Dirt, the Motley Crue movie, but of us,
The Outsiders.
then we should be the soundtrack to our movie.
Yeah, okay.
And
Okay.
they should make the Dirt, but it's us and it's the Hvshi band, and then
That's the
we'll be
vibe
the
I get.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think no, I mean they haven't made that movie. But I was like, we already kind of did that.
Hell yeah. All right. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could each add one abstract instrument into the band. So, and we're going to take, everybody keeps saying saxophone. We're taking
Oh
saxophone.
no, we already. All right,
But what would you each add?
I'll let you say it.
No, you.
No, well, we already have So look out for this. We're a pop punk ensemble, and the didgeridoo.
Oh, okay.
Dave plays the didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo did it.
For the intro of like one of our next songs.
Okay, very
smacking.
very Jamiroquai of you.
Didgeridoos for the end of a show or something.
Dueling didgeridoo.
That'd be cool. Yeah, you have one too. Yeah, we should. A didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo off.
Oh, I'm down.
Dueling guitars.
Yeah.
Anytime. We should just okay. I know I said I was getting sober. We should go to the bar one more time and bring our didgeridoos.
Absolutely.
I'm weak.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say something I find cool is like the almost not synthy, but like space sounds on a keyboard, like how hard
Atmospheric.
Oh, a theremin would be a great choice.
Like, or like the West Coast kind of chimey sounds that you hear in like West Coast rap or like old No Doubt or something. Like I'm into that, like the space sounds, and I think it.
Like I said, you should check out a theremin. I think that's exactly what you're looking for.
Exactly.
It's oh God, how do I explain it in 10 words or less? It's a synth engine. It generates a synth sound, and you don't play it with keys. You play it by putting your hands near parts of it.
Oh, yeah.
Theme song.
Okay.
That's the best way I can explain it. Google it afterwards. I promise it's the weirdest thing you're ever going to see. But if you're looking for spacey synth sounds, that will do it. I'm going to tell you, it's the weirdest instrument you're going to play. If you play one, it's going to be the weirdest instrument you'll ever play because you don't technically touch it. It's very strange.
Like, am I playing it?
Yeah. It's very like you got to put your hands near. It's weird, but check it out. I think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I were to add actually, I'm going to buying this with my Christmas money this year. I'm gonna butcher the name, but I think it's called an iru or an aru. I think it's a Chinese instrument, but it's almost like a violin cello kind of thing, and I think it only has like 2 strings on it, but it's one of the most beautiful sounding instruments. Like I'll hear a lot of traditional music. To me, it sounds like a weeping willow. Like it kind of does like that, like butchered sound probably. It's like does all that stuff.
It sounds so cool.
They're so beautiful and
Almost like slide.
yeah, kind of, yeah, but they're really beautiful. I want to get one. I'm gonna order it
Heck yeah.
here, and it'll probably get to me in a month.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it.
I thought you meant the little thing with the mouth.
The automaton.
Yeah, it's that's simulating that pretty
okay.
much.
Yeah.
100%.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've learned something today. Thank you. All right, but with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up.
Okay.
What can we look forward to between, let's say, now and June?
Well, our album is still out, so go stream that. We got some shows coming up. It's looking like February, but the main deal we got coming is in March. We're playing the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood, California. We worked real hard, and we've all wanted to play this venue more than any other venue, so we're so excited to be there. And right around there, so that's on March 8th, Hollywood, California. The tickets are on our website, all that jazz. And then March 6th, we're playing San Diego before that, and we got a couple other dates around there. So beginning of March, we're going on a little mini tour. We're going to tear up the West Coast again.
Hell yeah.
And try not to get in trouble.
Weirdly enough.
Look out, Pacific Beach. I'm coming back.
Weirdly enough, somebody said that venue for solo artists. I always ask them like if they could perform anywhere, would they pick? And somebody said that exact venue.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days ago. I wish I could remember who it was.
Oh, that's
It
amazing.
was a weird turn of events.
Yeah.
All right, now for this next one, go and look straight at your cameras. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
MySpace.
MySpace, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you can think of, and it's all at Hvshi Band, HVSHIBAND.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
HvshiBand.com, buy merch.
Oh yeah.
It's your Portland water.
I have to shout out Portland Water because this is for locals that old airport carpet.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
so cool.
I think they still have that carpet in there somewhere. I don't think they got rid of it completely.
Yeah,
Like I think that
for us weirdos.
well, more I think there's patches of it throughout. I haven't been to the new airport yet.
Oh, it's weird.
Crazy now.
Hold on to it. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I need to go there, but I can't bring myself to just go to the airport to see what it looks like.
It's cool now. There's you can just hang out there.
We'll call you next time we gotta fly, and we'll be like, "Do you want to drive us to the airport?"
I'll do that.
Like the outside still kind of looks the same. See it?
But yeah, Portland Water hooked us up with a bunch of water for our Salem show. Shout out Stormy and Fourth Quarter Collective. As always, shout out our fish, the Antelope Fishermen.
Oh yeah, shout out the fish.
Our brothers. Me and Dave are technically a part of Fish Gang.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that actually guilty by association. So yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to be jumped in.
Cheyenne's again. Oh, you know what? You don't have the time.
Wait a second.
I've been initiated properly.
Yeah, shout out them, shout out Crimmins, shout out Snooty. Shout out these guys for sticking through the journey and
Yeah. Shout out to all your wonderful pets at home.
yeah,
Buddy.
our kitty cats are at home. Shout out to them for putting up with us and our mothers.
They're
We
why
love
do
our
it.
mothers.
Our bearded dragon, Jim.
Yeah,
as
Jim, for sure.
Shout out. Yeah, a lizard king.
Oh yeah, okay, our cats are Nikki Six, Lita Ford, and Dolly Parton.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. My cat's name is Itachi.
Nice. That's cool.
Oh, that's hard.
He has not made it into the camera on an episode, but one of the thumbnails, somebody is holding him. You guys got to figure out who it is.
Oh heck yeah, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, it's it. There is one. It's only one, but you'll see him.
Hell yes.
All right. Now, with that being said, I do have one last question to go. But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your guys' interpretation, however you want to answer it. Feel free. But in all of music, what is an album you each feel is more on the obscure side? It's a bit of a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Out of ours or out of any?
All music.
Kid Cudi's Spirit Bullet to Heaven or Speed Bullet to Heaven is super underrated and everyone hated on that album, but he started doing all rock before any of us started coming back to pop punk. That album's hard.
Hell yeah.
I would say Waiting for the Man or White Light, White Heat by the Velvet Underground. Pretty much anything by the Velvet Underground. They kind of like, to me, were kind of like that, like one of the first alternative, got to say whatever they wanted with no outside influence by the studio. And you were all let them do,
Hell yeah.
run amok and do whatever they wanted. And I think the tracks are really cool and interesting.
Hell yeah.
I don't really have a single album, to be honest with you. I'm that one. I'm indecisive. I love so many things and so many albums, all the bands that I like.
What about that's kind of...
Yeah, it's like personal though. I don't know if everybody should know what I like.
I mean, that's kind of the point of this one. Like, what's a deep cut?
The world should know, or a deep cut.
Yeah.
Well, I recently, in the last couple years, got into movements and just found a lot of comfort and things like that in their lyricism and their music and stuff. I got some tattooed for things, lame stuff, but any I really like underground kind of like indie rock, like alternative, very Spotify kind of music. So I guess if you're like the world should know, it's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That people wouldn't, I guess, know off the top of their, not mainstream music. I guess those are like my favorite albums and types of bands.
Hell yeah. I dig that.
Yeah.
And actually, while that is one that people will know, and this is, I swear to you, not just because I'm as a friend, but literally, Davy Banks' We Want the World album is actually one of the sickest albums that everybody needs to hear. And this dude makes music through a time machine. Literally.
There you go.
I start tearing up. I actually swear, this is cool.
Yeah.
Damn,
Oh, you're
those
a
are all
jack of all
super solid
trades,
recs.
man.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Davey Outback.
Oh yeah,
Maybe Daytona.
got a few different-
Dave gets
few
new
different
personalities
characters.
in every city.
Gotcha. Okay.
Form to
Okay.
any
a
environment.
lot of different characters.
All right, you guys. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Man, thanks for having us. And yeah, biggest shout out to Jimmy's Jam Box for having us out here, man. This was so fun.
Yeah. And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Shaden Nugent.
I'm Cheyenne Vi.
I'm Davey Banks.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.